Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony in the third class trial, finding out who killed Angie, and possibly Tenko. Anyway. Okay, so I think Shuichi obviously already said that, so in any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. I don't remember what the hell just happened. I recorded this part last night, I don't remember. Why is my controller not working? Why is it not working? There we go.
It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
Okay, apparently I hadn't clicked on the game. I must have clicked off of it, and that's why my controller wasn't working.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
Ah, okay, right.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, he wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But we did, so what's mad?
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed.
He's like,
I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
of course he fucking lied again.
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
I think he's like, okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
No.
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
No. Of course, he's got to be telling the truth at one point. I'm not the culprit. You're telling the truth, right? No, I'm lying. So you are the culprit. No, I'm lying about that. Like,
why did you say
I don't
you
think
were
he's
the
the culprit, though.
I wanted to lure the culprit out.
That wouldn't work.
If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious.
That's not a terrible plan. Not the best. Not terrible.
Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
Shuichi.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
Oh.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
You. I can't hold it up anymore.
Oh my god.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
I swear to god.
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it.
Technically.
Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Oh my god. This game is so wildly inappropriate.
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
It's like she wanted that to happen.
What should we talk about now?
Gonta's like, I am uncomfortable.
We must
So are
focus
we.
not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
Unless they can fake a voice.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time. Me? A suspect?
Wouldn't it be funny if she did it? I want to suspect her just because.
Never kill Angie!
But maybe Tenko killed Angie and she killed Tenko.
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
It certainly wasn't me because I'm the one solving all these mysteries. Although, let's be fucking honest. Kaede was the one solving all these mysteries and she was the first murderess. So, I'm really not No, I could still be a suspect. Suichi could totally die, and then we'd have to play as somebody else. My bouncy ball is, like, really, like, not sturdy right now.
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect,
It's really
too.
fucking bizarre. It's not sitting right. It's, like, lopsided, which is odd. It started to deflate.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down.
Shh.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers, what should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why?
Oh. Why did Tango have to die? Oh my god, I missed that because I thought he was done talking. I didn't know it was going to automatically jump to her. Sorry. So she asked why Tango had to die. That never happens. It usually, like, because I saw that he was going to, like, someone was going to interrupt him. So as soon as he stopped talking, I clicked it thinking, oh, cool, then we'll jump to the next and it'll have a more logical flow. That did not work out.
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but can we talk about Tanko's case now and not just Angie's?
See?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
It just clicked on its own.
What do you mean?
The two victims could have been killed by two separate murderers, you know.
I think Tango killed Angie and someone killed Tango.
So we need to find the first blackened responsible for the first victim. We've got to figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
Not to Himiko.
Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Okay, so when they're being interrupted, it'll automatically skip. Okay, that's really bizarre. I don't think it's ever happened that way. Himiko?
Tanko's death was meaningless? How dare you!
Aww.
Poor Tanko! How could you do this to her? Himiko.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
She cared about her. She just was better friends with Angie, and then I don't know. It's like she killed Tanko because Tanko killed Angie.
Kokichi, enough!
I don't know. I really don't.
No. It's okay. It's no surprise you'd think that. I know I ignored Tanko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tanko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive.
Aw.
But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now.
Dude, Kaido!
Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah? Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm going to help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not going to let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tanko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is Death Curse. I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are going to help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival.
I really just like the inside of his coat. I can't help it, but
Just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
It's so weird because sometimes there's a lot of extrapolation, there's a lot of this, and then all of a sudden, like the last part, I feel like it was like we had 2 lines, and then it's like a nonstop debate, and then it's like another couple, and then it's another debate, and I'm like, Jesus, they're coming fast. And now it's like 3 hours later, and we're still just talking. I'm okay with this. I hate some of the debate shit that they make us do.
But we haven't decided whether there were 2 different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case, but that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious. Tancrotch!
The people who attended the seance, Suichi, Korikyo, Suichi, Himiko, and Kokichi. No, because Kaito wasn't there, Kiba wasn't there. Yeah, that's it. Oh, wrong button. There's a lot of names. So I'm like,
It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those 4 are the culprits!
Make sure I get the right names.
Oh, Himiko still culprit?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the 4 is really...
You.
Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Also, what would he have to gain from killing Tenko? See, here's my thing with separate people. What do you have to gain from killing Tenko? You get away with murder. You just waste, like Monokuma said, you wasted a murder. Of course, maybe you don't realize that, and you're thinking, oh, I can murder, and then they'll blame somebody for Angie's death and Tenko's death, and then I'll get off, and cool. You know what I mean? But otherwise, like, you know, so you think the same person should have done it. Unless Tenko killed Angie, and then someone killed Tenko for revenge, then, you know, which is possible. Quite possible.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either.
I mean, who knows? It's never who I think. It's always like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
But Kokichi tried walking into the other room, so the floorboard was cut in all of the rooms. But how did they know that they would do something in that room? So it could have been him. Was it? Because then he suggested the seance, and we need someplace dark. And Himiko said that room. They said the rooms, and Himiko picked the room. But Kokichi went into one of the other rooms, and the floorboard was loose, and he hurt himself. So they could have cut the cross beams in all the rooms, not knowing which one may be picked. Be prepared. The beam was cut in all of them. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use?
The middle room. The middle room's always best for stuff like this.
Very well. I shall begin the preparations at once.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance.
And they could have gotten under the floorboard through any of the rooms because the wood was rotted away. We saw that. And if it was Himiko, she could have jumped down that little hole because she's small. In
The
that
empty
corner.
room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Yeah, the whole point of entry from outside. He must be referring to... Oh, hold on. How can I not select? Oh. Is it there? I don't know what you're talking about. You were able to go outside from the investigation area.
I was wrong!
No, what? No, I wasn't. It's this corner over here. Is it supposed to be like this? I mean, it's supposed to be...
There!
Okay, I guess I just wasn't over far enough.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
I mean, that's really fucking stupid. It's the general area. Like, not like, oh, it's gotta be exactly, but I guess it's because that was flashing, so I guess I should have looked for that. But, like, it's hard because, like, the thing doesn't really change, so you're like, I know it's in that corner, but I'm not exactly on the spot, so it didn't count.
Huh? Under the floor?
No.
Yes,
I know that's
there's a
fucking
crawl
right.
space under the floor a person can move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
Himiko, because she was standing in that corner.
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
It's not Angie, goddammit. Oh dear. Okay. Let's see what we get and see if I can remember the keys. Floorboard, flashlight,
The
hole in the
culprit
corner.
sneaked in during...
Floorboard. The loose floorboard right below Tenko was not loose before the seance. There was dried blood on the bottom part of the floorboard. That might have been from them cutting themselves getting it out. What was the other one? Was the hole in the corner one? I think it was. And then Kibo's flashlight function. Okay. Hole that was in the corner of the room. The seance was held in. There's space under the floor so you can see what was dropped in there. Honestly, we were just talking about the hole. It's probably this fucking thing. Function that Mew had to keep. Okay.
during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light?
Damn it.
Candle?
I think that was
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh?
No.
Now, hold on a second.
No, I think it's...
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and
No, we would have
sneak
seen
into
it.
the empty room during the seance.
No, we would have seen it.
I said, hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
It's true that with a little light you can move around under the floor, but thinking about that room, I don't think it would be possible to use the light under the floor. Yeah, because we would have seen it through the hole.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
So I think that's kind of true,
But it
yes.
was pitch black during the seance. How
Yeah.
could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, villain had a light.
Damn it.
Light?
Damn it!
Candle?
It doesn't... I like almost with the using the keyboard better because I hate... Because I hit the button and there's a delay. Like, I click and then it's like...
The culprit sneaked in.
Click! And it's like, oh my god! Like, I click it and I can do it so much better.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
I do it so much better.
You see,
There we go. I'm just gonna keep holding it until I shoot and not let it go. You think I would learn? It's so much easier with the keyboard to do
I
it
don't think the
and the
culprit
mouse,
could have
but
used a light while under the floor.
no, we would have seen it.
there was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats.
No, remember, he has the powers of an old man.
My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch-black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
That I believe.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Hey. We used the glowing paint shit in the second game. You can't copy. Can't do
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
I love these, like, that's familiar. Like, if you haven't played any of the other games, like, you could still play this one, but you wouldn't get things like that.
The corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
And she was told not to say anything.
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
In the middle of the seance. That's what that thunking
When?
noise was.
So not during seance?
Although, that could also have been the person throwing the scythe underneath the floorboards, but...
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she?
We know she was alive in there because she made a comment and she said something, so she had to die in the middle.
How could someone have gotten to her there?
She had to have died in the middle of the seance because she was already dead when we uncovered her.
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
Yeah, she spoke to us. This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over.
Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
You know, I like Gonta's idea of killing her through the floorboard.
But she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
I mean, I'm curious to see how else it could go.
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads. Huh? Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Great. Okay. See? They go so fast sometimes, and then there's like hours of nothing. Let's see, what do we got? Cage, sheet, statue.
When
okay. Cage. Iron cage that Tenko wasn't during the seance. It was around 3 feet high and 5 feet wide. Suichi Kokichi places over Tenko. Okay. White sheet. The sheet that was over. Okay, this has blood on it, so that proves something in the dog statue. Okay, so the dog statue would prove that she couldn't have gotten out. I don't know what the cage would prove. And the sheet would be that she was... Okay, let's see.
Who got killed? It wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time.
White sheet.
She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
Oops.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Like
no. Okay,
when
that's
cage
it.
lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast.
No, whoops.
So fast, no one saw.
No.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
No, it wasn't the moment the cage was lifted. Because we saw the blood seeping out, first of all.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
And we know that there was
no
blood. And we know there's blood on the sheet. So she was already... Tenko not being killed during the seance. Impossible. She couldn't have been killed when the cage was opened. I'll prove it. Yeah,
when Tenko got killed,
it could not have been done at... Okay. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Damn it, I missed it. No, because the picture got in my way and I didn't have it down far enough.
got killed during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Shit!
Like that.
Fuck, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to hit this one.
Go real fast.
Fuck.
So fast?
Damn it. This one is so... I don't know why they're getting worse as they go. Like, it's harder to fucking... And I think it's just because I can't, like... I'm so much better with the mount. Like, I hate using the controller. I really do.
It could not have been done at any other time.
No, I was trying to
She was under
hold
the cage
it,
the whole time.
but I was
She
holding
was
the wrong
dead
button.
when the cage was lifted.
And, like, I just can't.
What about moment cage was lifted?
There we go.
That's
I
wrong.
didn't get the V point, but I don't care. Whew! Whew! We're doing really bad.
It wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it.
Oh my god, we're doing so terrible at this.
That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
Who knows?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the
I
seance.
got your remodel right here!
Oh, bitch. Fuck.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, the wrong button.
What?
I was waiting to be able to click and see what we're gonna...
I'm
now
gonna
we're
prove it
debate.
right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Fuck. Hold on. Marker stone, loose floorboard, iron
Tenko.
cage. Marker stone. Okay, that's what she was putting her face on. Loose floorboard. I don't think that... that doesn't mean anything, because that was moved, but the... I don't know.
Died after the seance.
So what am I doing? There we go.
It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out get Tanko through the cage! They stuck the thin blade through the gaps, and that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
I'm not moving this well.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps. In which case, the person who
sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
None other than Kyo.
Nope, I gotta do it. Nope. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I gotta hit the other button when I
need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
Damn it!
She
the wrong button. I wasn't
cage's
anticipating it coming up that fast. I was trying to like hit these, so I wasn't paying attention.
And that's none other than Kyo.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I gotta. Okay.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
There we go.
I'll cut through your words.
I just hit the wrong button because I'm cutting the other things. I hit the wrong button, and
wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone, and the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Through the floorboards.
I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
Oh, she's so embarrassed. But we're going to wrap this part up here before we get into more, you know. So, anyway. Yeah, I am going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.